USF A36. Sorry. USAF. B36. Sorry. I get my planes mixed up. Was a wooden bomber, 6-engine, rear engine, Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, made of wood. All wood. Okay. There was a mountain picked where they would basically fly airplanes into it, pretty much. And the autopilot would do the best as it... It was basically a test of the autopilots. The autopilots would try and bring the airplanes in as they were running out of fuel, and the autopilot would do the best it could to keep it, keep the plane from stalling. So as the planes started to stall, it would correct and then come down. And it was an autopilot test it would basically just keep the airplane flying as long as it possibly could. The plane had just enough fuel to basically fly all the way around the planet and all the way back to itself, basically, or back to where it was. So a crew could literally jump out, get down on the ground, build a tent, pitch it, kick it, have a cup of coffee, and a couple, I don't know, however long it took for the airplane to go all the way around the world. They would then see in a couple hours the airplane coming up over the horizon and landing, or a day or so, however long it takes for the aircraft to go around the world, basically. So they could sit there and then literally watch the airplane just go sputter, sputter, sputter. Anyway, there's a mountain that was chosen for these tests, and each aircraft would be given just enough fuel to get back to itself. And it was kind of like an autopilot test, really. Began, I suppose, around 2073. That would be BC, AC? I don't know. Somewhere around there. BC, I guess. 2073, somewhere around there. Started with a wooden aircraft and a nuclear bomb. 6-engine, rear engine, Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Later on, engines would probably include front engine, radial engine. Anyway, though, later on they also used it as a nuclear testing ground because there was no one around and no one would get hurt. So, nor would anyone really care if it was radioactive. So anyway, and the airplanes would crash with their nuclear bombs intact. It was my test. I made other videos on this, and I'm going to do another one. So anyway, years and years and years of crashing of airplanes there. Started out with wood, basically, pretty much. I think the original ones might have had, before the days of the autopilots, there might have been someone that would fly all around the world and then basically crash in the mountain. But basically, it was pretty much an autopilot test, really, to see if the autopilot could keep the aircraft flying, even though the aircraft didn't have fuel to fly anymore. And it was a way for people to bail out and know about when an airplane would crash. It was like it's like an autopilot circumnavigating the world test. Later on, nuclear bombs were included. Anyway, that was the test, I believe, that I mandated or was doing or had done or part of. And this test raged on from, I guess, year 2073, about, to obviously sometime present day when they had aluminum. Anyway, it was basically a middle of nowhere testing ground where ghost aircraft would fly around the world. They knew the airplane would make it. Most airplanes did not have a nuclear bomb on board, but later on ones did. I guess they started doing it somewhere around 2073 when the aircraft could make it around the world. The first one of these was a wooden aircraft, of course, and a 6-engine. I'm glad they were accurate about that. That would have enough fuel to make it all the way around to itself. And have an autopilot on board that would land the plane without a pilot. So anyway, that was the test, and then later on, autopilots would do the same thing with aluminum aircraft. I guess it went on from 2073, year 2073, so that would be, I don't know, let's see, what year are we in? So were there 3 ADs? Probably began BC, probably, or somewhere way, way, way back in the past whenever there was a wooden aircraft. 6-engine Rolls-Royce Merlin engine aircraft. And then basically went throughout the years as a top secret facility until I finally admitted it or someone, blah, 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 whatever. And then they could clean it up. So anyway, lots of airplanes crashed there. They burned all the wood pieces, though, from all their wooden aircraft. And then they blew the crap out of everything else a couple times until there was nothing left. It's basically like an explosive dump for a while, basically big explosions. I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff that happened there. But pretty much that's the way it went. Also, steel aircraft pieces. There's also steel aircraft, but basically all the pieces of the aircraft were radioactive. If there were some radioactive aircraft pieces there, and that's why they were left there, because I didn't want anybody getting hurt. So clearly the site's safe now, or at least not that bad. So anyway, because there were nuclear bomb tests to make sure that the nuclear bomb could survive an impact, or like they took a couple airplanes, had them land gently, and then they took a couple airplanes, went into the mountainside, to make sure that the nuclear bomb would maintain its cohesiveness or whatever. It was a place basically in the middle of nowhere where no one would ever be around or notice. You'd probably see melted rock somewhere around there if they ever detonated the bombs. Surprised there's any pieces left, really. Anyway, basically, yeah, middle of nowhere, radioactive airplane dump, pretty much, or something like that. So, yeah. Anyway, something I knew about back in the day. Anyway.